And coming to you live once again, it's your boy Wex breaking the Lawson for another AEW Dynamite review. But before I get into that review, I'm gonna let you know we got a new episode of Kayfabe Comparisons coming up this Saturday. We did this past weekend's Impact Hard to Kill pay-per-view going up against a classic WCW NWO Sold Out 1997, which was more of a shit show than I ever remember. One of the best matches of the night featured Buff Bagwell, so that's telling you a lot. So you should go check that out. It was a fun episode, but let's go ahead and get into the review. The first matchup of the night, we start with your boys, the Dark Order, teaming up with Hangman Adam Page, taking on TH2 and the Chaos Project. And of course, Serpentico and Luther were healing it up, trying to be an asshole for Negative One's birthday. That's what this match was really about, Negative One's birthday celebration. And Hangman Adam Page came run out of the tunnel and dove onto everybody to start off the match, or to kick off the match. It was pretty fucking sick. I really enjoyed that. And this match, I really enjoyed the double team work and the triple team moves you got from the Good, the Bad, and the Hungy. Of course, the Hybrid 2 were flipping and flying all over the place. Serpentico, he's flipping and flopping too. Luther was doing, whatever Luther does these days. Kind of looking like Uncle Fester, as Jim Cornette says. One thing I may agree with.
You like Wendy's too.
I mean, Junior Bacon Cheeseburger's alright every now and then, but I'm not no Cornette, triple stack, fat ass shit. This match, it went pretty chaotic like any 8-man tag can, but as things kind of culminated, got to the climax, Colt Cabana ended up smashing Luther into the cake on top of the stage, and then we got a nice triple team buckshot lariat, German suplex into a nice flipping pin by Alex Reynolds for the 1, 2, 3 victory. The Good, the Bad, the Hungy plus Colt Cabana pick up the victory, and then post-match, they're getting ready to celebrate, and they're like talking about their new recruit they're so excited about, Hangman Adam Page. Silver, butters him up a little bit and was like, so are you gonna join? And before he can even spit anything out prematurely, they say, he said yes, and they have this bullshit half celebration as he goes, no, I can't join, I just can't do it. And then everyone's kind of starts scrambling, running away, trying to get everything back into shape, into order, the Dark Order. But the thing is, at first I thought it was a heel move from Adam Page for not joining the Dark Order, but if you think about it, he's still scorned and burned from the Elite, so it's not really a heel move. It's kind of like the scared loner, I don't want to trust anybody move. So I misinterpreted that at first, but honestly, I think the storyline is going to continue, and they're going to eventually recruit him and get him to join the Dark Order. And I noticed he grabbed that whiskey from Stu Grayson's hand as he was headed to the back of that right afterwards. But before the whole thing ended, Negative One got to get a nice fucking kendo stick shot in, and then did the classic paper. I was looking for some papers, I don't have any papers around here. He did the paper spot, threw it at Serpentico, and he's like, you fucking idiots, my birthday was 3 days ago. Good little segment, and for anybody on the internet who's hating on them doing stuff for Brody Lee Jr., I see this shit on Twitter, what the fuck is wrong with you people? You're monsters. It's a child, his dad's fucking dead, and they're trying to make him feel better, show him a good, it's a fucking kid. Leave him alone, Jesus fucking Christ, what's wrong with you people? Next up, we get Tony Schiavone in the ring doing his classic, it's Stiiiingg thing, and Darby Allin's in the ring too, or he comes to the ring. That's his theme song, in case you didn't know. Yes. But Darby Allin came down to the ring, and they officially had their first words to each other. Sting officially spoke to him, not at him, and basically said, I wasn't here to help you, I was gonna basically make sure you had a fair chance to defend your title. And before he could really spit all that out, Taz interrupted him on the Tron with all of his boys, Team Taz, saying that's bullshit, you try to use a belt with Cage, you were fighting dirty, and you wanna fight dirty? I'm from the streets, you know that, I'm a street fighter, these are street fighters. Which I just was no one looks like Ken or Ryu or anybody, that's all I was thinking the whole time. No Hadoukens, but I think they're about to set up a fucking street fight type thing, and Sting's probably will be involved somehow. Maybe it'll be a way they can have him in a match where he doesn't have to take any bumps, he can just whoop ass with a baseball bat, maybe take a few chops, something he could take, we can see something happen. We don't want another slip up from Seth Rollins fucking breaking his back or whatever the fuck he did with that buckle bomb. We love Sting, cherish Sting, we don't want to see Sting hurt no more. Next up, we see the Young Bucks walking up to a house with Alex Marvez and a camera, and I really enjoyed this. They acknowledged, why are you here, Alex Marvez, and why is there a camera here? Which in pro wrestling, you always have a camera in peculiar places and they do stuff, and you're like, why the fuck was there a camera there? I really enjoyed the acknowledgement of the cameras, and they told him to leave, but the camera stayed, so it still kind of went in with the Carney Classic pro wrestling bullshit, It was cool, though. They went into the house, and Don Callis is standing there after they were led in by Michael Nakazawa with this fucking ridiculous painting of him and Kenny Omega, shirt shirts off, overly buff, a little homoerotic. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it is what it is. Basically, he started talking shit to the Young Bucks and was trying to buy them out of the friendship from Kenny Omega because he's doing his little slimy, grimy little bullshit. And Kenny Omega obviously has no idea what's going on when all this shit's happening, but they're trying to buy him out. He's writing checks, and they're just like, dude, we used to work for TNA. We know these things are gonna bounce. It's garbage. I love the little stab at him. I love the interpromotional feud thing we got going on. It's really sick. And then the camera kind of faded to black as they alluded to a super kick party, which I don't understand why they just didn't show it. But maybe there's more to it. Next up, we get pretty Peter Avalon going up against cocky Cody Rhodes, and he comes out with all the goddamn pyro again, more than anybody. If you have more pyro than the world champion, you have more pyro than Chris Jericho, you probably got more pyro than the Jacksonville Jaguars fucking got when they score touchdowns. Like, Cody, goddamn it with the pyro. But okay, this match, it started off basically Cody running in, hitting a fucking crossroads immediately, but not going for the pin because Jade Cargill, who, you know, talked shit to him last week, made her way down the ramp, started staring at him, basically gave him a distraction. Then Peter Avalon went for the low blow, which I thought right there it should have been him getting the low blow, hitting some type of move, whatever his fucking finisher is, I forgot, and taking the win. That would definitely heat up the feud between the Cargill Shaq things next week or in 2 weeks, I don't know, I can't remember. Shaq and Cody are gonna go have another face-to-face, a little sit-down, and I think him losing would have fired it up, but no, they continued a match, and Cody got his shit in. Avalon definitely got some decent shit into, he's a great worker, but I really would like to see him win that match and further that little fucking feud instead of having Cody win. I mean, I did like the ending sequence with the figure four, and they reversed it and were smacking each other, and for the eventual tap out by Peter Avalon, but god damn it, they should have just had Peter win dirty, it would have been better, but no, Cody, you gotta get your shit in, don't you? Next up, we got FTR and Tully Blanchard sitting backstage on a little couch, talking a little shit, talking to how Jurassic Express are just fake boys playing wrestler, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Eventually, we get a match set up next week. Dax Harwood versus Jungle Boy in a singles match. I've never really seen Dax in many singles matches. I have Jungle Boy. We know he's going to kill it, but there's going to be some fuckery going on, some Tully interference. We'll have Luchasaurus there, too, probably Marco Stunt to try to offset the bullshit, but we know something's going to happen. It should be a good match, and I'm looking forward to it. Up next, we got Jon Moxley in... Is this his first match or second match back since he lost the belt? I don't know, but next up we got Jon Moxley taking on Nick Camarado, not Colorado, sorry. Nick Camarado, who looked like kind of like a rip-off young version of Bruiser Brody, and they kind of alluded to that on commentary, but he didn't look bad in the ring. He was nice and big, and it was a nice contrast to see Jon Moxley go up to someone against a little bit bigger, and he got some cool shit in. He hit a nice Ushi-Goroshi on Jon Moxley, but you know what it is. I thought it was going to be a squash match. They let him get some shit in, but eventually Moxley's going to win. Nick Camacho, Camacho, that's Tangaloa, but he put him on the shoulder. I think, I could be wrong, but I think Camacho is Tangaloa, but he put him on the shoulder, and then Moxley locked in the sleeper, took him down to the mat, and he passed out. So Moxley gets the win, which I expected, but I expected it to be quicker. But hey, this guy's got some potential. Apparently he trains at the Nightmare Factory with QT Marshall and whoever else he fucking trains, maybe Nasty Leroy. Hopefully, that'd be pretty cool. Nasty Leroy and AEW coming soon. I want to see that. QT make it happen. Pretty decent match, but afterwards he cut a fiery ass promo. He was like, shit's been fucking crazy on here Wednesday nights, and he's ready just for some violence. He wants to break bones, wants some fucking blood. He's gonna be like fucking ISIS on America, just hammering down. Or wait, I guess, well, Kenny Omega would be ISIS, wouldn't he? The Undertaker would have whooped ISIS's ass anyways, but let's see. Alright, next we cut back to Don Callis and Kenny Omega in like the locker room area, and Kenny Omega notices a little shiner, a little black eye on his face, and he alludes to the Young Bucks doing it, but doesn't really say they did or didn't do it, so that's kind of why I was talking about earlier, it faded to black. Maybe they didn't super kick him, and he's trying to set him up, which could be what that little conniving, grimy little motherfucker's doing. He's really healing it up. I'm really loving what Don Callis is doing as a bad guy right now. For sure. Alright, next we got Matt Sydal and Top Flight going up against the Hardy Party. And dude, Hardy Party, Private Party, and Matt Hardy have been on a fucking roll lately, and this match was really fucking good. Besides a few little botches, I really liked all the spots. I know a lot of people don't like all the crazy high-flying shit, but I enjoy it. It's fun every once in a while. Like I said, Top Flight and Matt Sydal were a great pairing. They had a lot of really cool double team moves. I did notice Dante Martin did a little botch one time, and at the beginning of the match, but really it didn't fuck him up. He continued through the match, kept going good. It's like when a quarterback throws a pick, but it doesn't fuck him up, and they keep going throughout the whole game and doing good. That's kind of what he did. That really didn't stop him. He hit some really nice shit, but the really true part of this match, the main story, wasn't really the in-ring work. It's that heel turn of Private Party Matt Hardy's been influencing on them for weeks. Like, I thought it was so good. Like, the storytelling, when he picks up the chair and uses it, Isaiah Cassidy is staring up there to Mark Quinn, and he just smiles at him, and just that evil little smile, like, yeah, and then he smiles back, like, that little unspoken, like, connection right there, and, like, that's, like, the official turn. It was fucking sick. And even post-match, Matt Hardy encouraged the beatdown, and they fed him for the twist of fate. I really thought this was a good match, a really good story, a good heel turn. And dude, they're on a fucking tear. They beat James Storm and Chris Sabin to become the #1 contenders for the Impact World Tag Team Champions, who are the Good Brothers who've been fucking with Kenny Omega. So we got this whole big thing. And also if you watch Impact, Tony Khan was on there and Jerry Lynn interfered on their behalf to help them win. Jerry Lynn doing some heel tactics against the other company. I really thought that was cool too. But let's get on to the next match. All right, the next match of the night is a women's contest. Legit Laila Hirsch going up against Penelope Ford, but this also served as a background to the whole Butler, Miro, Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy best friends, beach break wedding thing. It was a whole big thing, but the match itself was pretty fucking solid. These two got pretty good chemistry together, and as I was looking up photos to get from the match, I saw a couple other matches they had previously when they were on the indies before they were in AEW, so they were a little bit familiar with each other, and they worked really good together, honestly, I thought. And the only thing that was kind of weird was that botchy finish, that the whole thing with the foot with Kip Sabian. I don't know what they were trying to do there, but the match went great. Legit Laila Hirsch always puts on a great match. But the real true story was the post-match as we're continuing that angle, and Miro brought down now Charles, not Chuck Taylor anymore, and he's dressed full-on Alfred, Jeeves, Butler gear all the way. Miro tells Charles to tell Orange Cassidy he's now their best friend and he's no longer his best friend. And he tells him, he looks sad as he does, and Orange Cassidy just looks fucking devastated, actually. It looks like one of the only times he's actually cared about anything, and he walks off all sad and disappointed. I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen on Beach Break. I'd love to see somebody get their ass kicked, whether it be Miro or Orange Cassidy. I just want to see some blood. I don't care. I just want to be entertained. Orange Cassidy got his due last year. It's time for Miro to get his due. All right. And for your main event of the evening, we got the three-way tag between the Inner Circle to determine the official tag team of the Inner Circle. So we got MJF and Chris Jericho coming out to a remix version of Judas combined with MJF's theme song, taking on Proud and Powerful Santana and Ortiz, also taking on the team of Sammy Hagar. And it's pretty funny, they got Sammy Hagar to do a little shout out to Sammy Hagar before the match, which is pretty fucking funny, because that's immediately what I thought as soon as they mentioned that. We talked about that last week. I'm glad they tossed that in there. It was pretty sick. And if you want to talk about the stars, the MVPs of the match, Sammy Hagar's were the fucking ones. Dude, those two were fucking doing everything. And things got pretty spicy, pretty heated between Sammy and Jericho at a few points in that match. Like, even though things seemed heated, you know, it was like a thing respect. It was like, I'm gonna one you up. It was more like a friendly athletic competition, as we want to say. Things got really fucking crazy, and I thought that Sammy Hagar was gonna pick up the victory to hit this nice combo with the Hagar Bomb, or the Hagar Bomb. I don't know what I'm even saying anymore. And then he went to the top for a really nice swanton. Sammy Guevara set up Jericho, hit the G2H. Is that what it's called? Like the GTS? The G2H that he's claimed, that fucking T-Bar, I think, claimed that he stole, but he didn't steal. Some bullshit, he claims he stole it, but he didn't fucking steal it. But as I digress, he hits the move, and then Wardlow interferes, MJF sneaks and rolls up and gets the pin. So Chris Jericho and MJF are now your official team of the Inner Circle, and they're gonna compete and go on, try to win the AEW World Tag Team Championship. So we're going to see what's going to happen with MJF, Chris Jericho, and Sammy Guevara still pissed off. I know this isn't the end of the problems of the Inner Circle. Somebody's eventually going to turn on somebody. I don't know who it's going to be, but they keep teasing more Hagar, more Sammy, but I think Wardlow could be the wild card. You never know. But before we get to the rating, I'm going to go ahead and let you know I'm changing this shit up a little bit. I'm going to keep it more in line with the Kayfabe Comparisons podcast. We rate shit on a beer rating. 1 to 6 beers, like a 6-pack. So I'm going to let you know I'm going to give this episode of AEW Dynamite 4 beers out of 6. And the only reason it didn't get that whole 6-pack is because a few of the matches tonight were a little sloppy, a little botchy, not too bad, but they could clean it up. I have high expectations for AEW, so some of this stuff, I don't know if it was just a bad night, but they could clean that shit up a little bit. And this just episode wasn't as exciting as the past few weeks have been, but it was still really good. So we're gonna go 4 out of 6 beers. I want you to chug you one. I'm gonna chug me some of this Darth Vader juice. I said Darth Vader juice. Jesus fucking Christ. Some of this Dark Order juice, goddammit. So until next time, all my sick AEW...